to the Mike's Fitness Equipment Studio for the Inland Sports Show, live and amplified here at Teen Vision TV 16. We got a big show. See all the red and the white? That means we've got a lot going on, and a lot of this is high school football. Some big high school football games coming up this week, and a monster college football game as San Bernardino Valley College will travel to RCC, the #1 team in all the land, at least the state of California. So RCC hosting SBVC. We'll talk more about that later in the show. But again, a lot of high school football we're going to get to. In our third segment, we will have a live interview with Chaparral quarterback Brock White. He had a huge game in his season opener as the Pumas went on the road to beat Ukaipa, and Brock White was all over the place, doing a lot of damage with his legs through the air as well. So we're going to hear from Brock White, the former Rancho Verde quarterback, now at Chaparral as a junior and doing big things for the Pumas. We're excited about that. And in our final segment, we're going to go inside the Lancers, presented by Magnolia Heating and Cooling, as we check in with the California Baptist women's soccer team, CBU, with back-to-back big wins on their home pitch. They've got a couple more home games coming up in the month of September before they get to conference play. So we're going to check in with the Lancers as well. But we start the show talking a little high school football, and it's the holiest of the wars. It's the Holy War. Aquinas versus Notre Dame, and it's our Ken's must-see game of the week. Let's go to the fancy graphic because it doesn't get any bigger than this. Aquinas and Notre Dame this Friday. We do have a time change, and we do have a location change. New venue for this one, as Aquinas and Notre Dame will meet at Jurupa Valley High School, and it's a 7:30 kickoff. So if you want to see the Ken Sporting Goods must-see game of the week, it's 7:30, Jurupa Valley, Notre Dame hosting Aquinas. Now, Notre Dame was going to play all of their home games at SBVC, but we'll get to that in a second. They had to change the time. They had to change the location. So here's what you need to know. If you want to see this game, the holiest of the wars, Battle for the Holy Shield, Friday, 7:30, Jurupa Valley High School. That game will be live on Riverside TV. So if you want to watch it live, you can't make it out there, you can watch it on Riverside TV. So you can check it out on the City of Riverside Facebook, YouTube, as well as their cable TV channels. It's Aquinas versus Notre Dame. Now, earlier this week, we had the chance to catch up with Notre Dame head coach Aaron Huerta as he came into the Riverside TV studio to kind of preview their matchup with the Falcons. Here's what you need to know. Both teams are 2-2. Both teams have had tough non-league schedules. And again, it's cliche, but throw out the numbers when these rivals get together, Aquinas and Notre Dame. So Jeff Gorham, who has the night off, he's actually doing some basketball tonight. He had a chance to talk with Aaron Huerta, the head coach at Notre Dame. So here's the conversation between Coach and Jeff Gorham.
Inland Sports.
We are here joined by Aaron Huerta, the head football coach at Notre Dame High School. Coach, how you doing?
Everything's going good. Looking forward to this week's game.
Hey, this is a big one. This is the Holy War. Everybody talks about it. Can you tell us what it means to Notre Dame, what it means to you, what it means to the community?
This is huge. I mean, the kids are excited. All the students are excited. This is bragging rights for both of these schools, so I'm excited.
And you've got a great phenom young freshman quarterback. Tell us a little bit about him.
Andre Robles, and we call him Dre. He's a great kid. He's a young kid, but he's a fun kid to watch. He's learning every day, and he's excited to get in this game.
Now, you're coming off a big win versus Rubidoux. I mean, a very big win. But you also had something happen in that game. Could you tell us a little bit about what happened?
Yeah, Bailey, our kicker, one of our kickers, she scored the first points in Notre Dame football history for a girl. So that's pretty exciting.
That is awesome. I'll tell you what. Now, tell us a little bit about your offense. What do we expect to see from this potent offense?
We're a balanced team. We're going to run the ball behind Joe Green and our offensive line, and then we're going to pass the ball with Dre, and we're going to get the ball to Lance, Nate Hernandez, and Devin Hudak. And
what are your thoughts on Aquinas? I mean, you've seen them play, I'm sure.
Yeah, they're a good football team. They're well coached. Jordan does a great job over there. They're tough. They come right at you, and they want to dictate that. So we're gonna try to bring that right back at them.
Well, Coach, I'll tell you what, we're looking so forward to this Holy War every year. Pep and I love doing this game. We love talking about it, and nothing but the best for you, Coach.
Thanks. Good. Thanks for having us.
That's Coach Aaron Huerta of Notre Dame High School.
Inland Sports.
Good job, Geoff. Again, that was Aaron Huerta, head football coach at Notre Dame High School, talking about their matchup with Aquinas this Friday in the Holy Ward as they battle for the Holy Shield. Now, we got some video highlights of both those teams from last week because they're both coming off big wins in the previous week to kind of set up this matchup. There's head coach Jordan Brusig and the Falcons. Now, they beat Xavier Prep 21-16, and that was the first game in what they call the Bishop's Trophy. So that's between Aquinas, Xavier Prep, which is out in Palm Desert, and then, of course, Notre Dame and Riverside. So they've got the Bishop Trophy up for grabs. And, again, Aquinas took that first step with a 21-16 win against Xavier Prep. Aquinas playing very well, and they've got a great defense. Meanwhile, Notre Dame picked up a big blowout win against Rubidoux at San Bernardino Valley College. Now, SBVC is the home site for Notre Dame all season long, but this week's game, the Holy War, moved to Jurupa Valley because SBVC women's soccer was already scheduled to play under the lights on Friday night. So they were thinking about playing the game on Thursday night at SBVC, but instead they kept it on Friday, and the game will be played at Jurupa Valley. So, and there's Bailey Ulola. Bailey kicked that extra point for Notre Dame, as you heard in the interview with Geoff, that it was the first points by a female kicker in Notre Dame history. So congratulations to Bailey. So we heard from Coach Huerta. Now let's hear from Coach Jordan Brusig. He mentions the Holy War, didn't go too deep into it, but he mentions the Holy War, and he talks about the win against Xavier Prep and what they need to do now going forward. So here's Aquinas head coach Jordan Brusig.
Win's a win, man. It's an important game for us to win. Those guys are good, and we played really hard and tried to give it back to them there at the end, but we fought through it and got it done. Came out and got points when we needed to when we started the second half, and we knew we needed to do that. It's a 7-6 game, and defense stepped up and played great at the end.
Finally, it's a rivalry game for the Bishop's Trophy. Notre Dame next week. Your thoughts on the Titans?
It's a Holy War, man. I can't wait.
No mercy. I say no mercy. No mercy. Hey, no mercy.
So that was it. Coach Brusig, the Bishop Trophy on display. Aquinas trying to take that next step with a win against Notre Dame, but the Titans trying to answer the bell this Friday as they play at Jurupa Valley High School. So big thanks to Coach Huerta and Coach Brusig for making time for us. Again, Riverside TV will have the game live Friday night, 7:30 p.m. Now, the game on Riverside TV this past week was really wacky. It was a great game, but a bizarre 7-6 JW North win against Hemet. We got video highlights of that one as well. Yes, 7-6 was the final score as Third in Chicago got the win against Hemet. Maybe not the prettiest win, but a win's a win, right? Put it in the win column for the JW North Huskies as they got the win. Mikaele, the big running back for North. That one would count, although there was a touchdown or two that would be called back for North. And again, I guess it wouldn't matter in the end because they still won by one. 7-6 was the final score as JW North now in the CIF playoff rankings. So they're making headway. And, Dennis Gregovich and Hemet, they're going to bounce back in a big way. So, again, just kind of a wacky score. 7-6 was the final. Hemet did get the one touchdown. There it was right there. But it was a 1-point game. North did have another touchdown or two, including that one right there. So the interception was good, but the return wasn't. So the interception stood, but the touchdown return did not. But in the end, again, 7-6 the final score. North wins. North gets Paloma Valley this Friday to try to keep things going for Third and Chicago. All right, when we come back, we're going to take our first break, but when we come back, we've got our Mike's Fitness Equipment Athlete of the Week. We're also going to check in with Kaiser head coach Billy Cardosi. Kaiser with a huge game against Los Osos coming up this Friday, and we also have our Inland Sports football rankings for this week. We'll be right back on your favorite show, the Inland Sports Show.
What's going on, guys? This is Ray Bass from Boost Performance Training. You're watching the Inland Sports Show with the one and only Pep Fernandez.
The Inland Sports Show is brought to you by Spoiled. Quick, quality oil change. Spoil yourself and your car at Spoiled. Kin Sporting Goods. They have all of your sporting gear needs, Letterman's jackets, and team uniforms. Boost Performance Training with Coach Ray Bass. Athletes of all levels and all sports are going to Boost Performance Training in Corona. Mike's Fitness Equipment. Check out the new storeroom on La Cadena. Quality fitness equipment at affordable prices. Mike's Fitness Equipment. And JoJo's Grill-A-Dog, located in the Mountain Grove Shopping Center in Redlands. Let's be frank, not all dogs are created equal. JoJo's Grill-A-Dog.
I would say the one thing that we stress more than anything else is service to our customer. Make sure that they're taken care of, whatever you can do to make sure that that order gets to them on time and it's the right quality and what they want. I've been that way since 1976. That was my goal, to reach out to local sports programs, and it's grown from there, and we've been very, very fortunate. My grandson is right over here. He's working for us, and he's going to college right now, and that's exactly what my son did 20-some years ago, and it keeps on going, you know. We have customers that come in the store that it's amazing. People that I haven't been here since I was a little kid, and I used to come in here all the time, and then now I'm bringing my son in here, or a grandpa that's bringing his grandson in here that came in here when we first opened back in '76. We just feel so fortunate to have been a part of this community and this Inland Empire for going into our 44th year now, and it's just been a blessing.
Just opened up our new location off the 91 in Arlington and Riverside. Come check us out and get spoiled for a change.
They are 3 games better than the Atlanta Braves right now. So if you want to look at the postseason, you're like, okay, who's going to have home field advantage in the National League? That's what you're playing for right now. You've already locked up the division, but you could get home field advantage. Just like NFL, if you finish with the best record, you're going to be home throughout the playoffs.
So keep it going. So still a reason to play.
Yes, they're not going to shut it down for these last couple of weeks. They still have to hold off Atlanta. And then Houston, the Yankees, they have the best record in baseball. If they can maybe chase them down, you could, think about that too. I don't know if you follow local football, but right now I feel like we're kind of in this golden age where like high school football is really good right now, and we've got a lot of local guys in the NFL all over the place from the Inland Empire. Like we're in this golden age.
Inland Sports. Welcome back to the Mike's Fitness Equipment Studio. It's the Inland Sports Show.
And welcome back to the Inland Sports Show at the Mike's Fitness Equipment Studio at Teen Vision TV 16 Val Verde High School. Jeff Gorham has the night off. My name is Pep Fernandez. We appreciate you tuning in every single Wednesday night, 6 o'clock, kind of your precursor to a big week of football, high school, college. We touch it all and whatever's going on in the Inland Empire sports-wise. Now, more high school football right now, as Norco versus Vista Murrieta was our Kin Sporting Goods must-see game last week, and it lived up to its billing. 2 two of the top teams in the Inland Empire going head-to-head. And what we found out was Norco is really, really good, and they can score a lot of points. Let's check out some of those highlights. Norco against Vista Murrieta from this past week. Horsetown, USA, everybody. And Norco went on to win this one by a final score of 49-28. 49-28. The Cougars are 3-0 on the season. They're averaging, my quick math says, about 53, 54 points per game, somewhere in that ballpark. But it was pretty close until Norco pulled away against a very good Vista Murrieta team. So that's a very quality win for Norco High School in this one. So they moved to 3-0 as they win 49-28. And in that game, Shane Illingworth had a huge game against Vista Murrieta, and we're not shocked because he's been putting up huge numbers all season long. So let's come back here live in the studio because we got to talk more about Shane Illingworth, and I know where you know where I'm going with this because we've got to announce our Mike's Fitness Equipment Athlete of the Week, and the numbers simply don't lie. We knew Shane Illingworth was going to get this award at some point this season. Well, tonight's the night. Let's go to the Mike's Fitness Equipment Athlete of the Week award, and there it is, Shane Illingworth. Let's go by the numbers because, again, the numbers don't lie. It was a school record 567 yards through the air, 7 touchdowns in all. Wow, that's just one game against a very good Vista Murrieta team. It's not like a school we've never heard of. No, Vista Murrieta is really good. So Shane Illingworth, our Mike's Fitness Equipment Athlete of the Week, putting up huge numbers in that win to move Norco to 3-0 on the season. He's an Oklahoma State commit, so he's going to be playing for the Pokes, the Cowboys at the college level. And yes, he is very, very big time. So congratulations to Shane, our Mike's Fitness Equipment Athlete of the Week. And that leads us into our Inland Sports Football rankings because, Shane, I saw you on Twitter. I think you were calling us out a little bit because we had Norco below Vista Murrieta in our football rankings. But let's take a look at this week's rankings because, Shane, you were right. There's Norco. Norco climbs to number 2. The Cougars leapfrog Vista Murrieta. And again, Vista Murrieta is not going to drop very much because they are, again, very, very good, and so is Norco. So that's not a bad loss. So Vista Murrieta comes in at number 3. Murrieta Valley. Listen, they've been blowing teams out. I think they're really good. I know they don't have Hank Bachmeyer, but they haven't skipped a beat. So we can't really, they're not going to budge at all. Murrieta Valley is at 4. Cajon's at 5. The Rancho Verde comes in at 6. Followed by Heritage and Kaiser. Our 4 more, Citrus Hill, Aquinas, Chaparral joins the party, as does Citrus Valley. Who's next? Well, that's San Jacinto and Santiago hanging on the outside. Santiago's played some tough games. We're going to learn a lot about the Sharks come next week when they play Heritage. San Jacinto plays Temecula Valley this week. That's another telling game for both teams. But that's how our rankings look right now. Shane Illingworth, you're right. Norco's number 2. And that Norco Centennial game looks very appealing right now. And that'll be later in the land of the Big 8 League season, which will be right around the corner. But that's how the rankings look right now in the Inland Sports Show. Master Computer, the supercomputer, putting those out for us, and we appreciate that computer. No days off for the Inland Sports supercomputer for those rankings. All right, in Division 6, according to the CIF Southern Section, the number 1 team in all the land, the Kaiser Cats. Number 1 in Division 6, a perfect 4-0 record. Billy Cardosi and the Cats will go up against the also undefeated Los Osos Grizzlies this Friday night. 4-0 Kaiser, 4-0 Los Osos. Los Osos coached by our dear friends Alex Pierce and Vinny Fazio. So it's going to be a great battle. Some great coaching minds in this game. Someone's going to move to 5-0. Someone's going to suffer their first loss of the season. But for Kaiser, going back to last week, they had a tough game against Hillcrest, but they won. They found a way to win, 22-14. So here's Coach Cardosi talking about his Cats, trying to get things cleaned up, trying to get better because it's only going to get harder again this Friday against Los Osos. Here's Coach Cardosi.
Coach, what do you look to clean up in practice this week?
Oh, a lot of things. I got a whole list. There's a lot of things we have to clean up mentally, mental mistakes, preparation. It goes back to believing in what you're told as your coach as far as preparation, especially on a short week. You have to think about football away from football. And I think we had some guys that were, we're 3-0. Yeah, we almost got beat. and we better learn from this and understand that, especially on a Thursday game, you have got to be focused, especially if you're a two-way guy. We got a lot of guys going two ways this year that either never did it before, didn't do it last year, or only went one way last year, and that's where you have to be even more mentally prepared.
All right, the Kaiser Cats and Trey Tribble, the quarterback, they were playing very, very physical against Hillcrest this past week. But you could, as you heard from Coach Cardosi, who always gives the best sound bites, the list is long on the things that he wants to fix. And again, it's only going to be magnified as they play a very good Los Osos team this Friday. So that should be a fun one, Kaiser and Los Osos this Friday night. All right, back here live in the studio, we got to talk about the Citrus Hill Hawks. They are going to be live and amplified on Teen Vision TV 16 this Friday night. You can find them at VVUSD. Teen Vision on Vimeo. Citrus Hill will host the other Hawks, the Arroyo Valley Hawks, this Friday night. Arroyo Valley actually undefeated this season, 4-0, and they are the #1 ranked team right now in Division 14. Let's go to some highlights of Citrus Hill this past week. They were on the road playing under a full moon as they took on Rancho Mirage, the Rattlers, but it was Citrus Hill putting the squeeze, biting the Rattlers back. It was 34-17. Citrus Hill with the big win. Orange breaking off the big touchdown run for Coach McMains and the Hawks. So it was 34-17, the final score against Rancho Mirage. So right now, based on the CIF Southern Section rankings, which came out on Monday, Citrus Hill is #4 in Division 5. They're the #4 team in Division 5 right now. And again, they're going to be playing Arroyo Valley this Friday night live on Teen Vision, who's #1 in Division 14. So we'll see. 3-0 Citrus Hill, 4-0 against Arroyo Valley. We know what we get with Citrus Hill. Citrus Hill's very, very good. Arroyo Valley has been one of those feel-good stories, kind of a Cinderella team so far this season. We're going to find out if Arroyo Valley can hang with Citrus Hill. And we knew even before the season began for Arroyo Valley that Citrus Hill was going to be their toughest test on that non-league schedule. So I'm excited for Arroyo Valley to get this opportunity against a really good Citrus Hill team. And congrats to Coach McMains, because Citrus Hill has really continued that momentum that they had under Coach Zomal. Things are just keep on going for Coach McMains and Citrus Hill. 3-0 against Arroyo Valley, 4-0 on Teen Vision this coming Friday night. We're going to take another break. When we come back, more high school football to get to. We have our spoiled slick play of the week. We've got our Boost broadcast schedule. We're going to preview SBVC and RCC in the Bell game, and our live interview with Chaparral quarterback Brock White. We'll be right back on the Inland Sports Show.
Hello everybody, this is Mike Maynard, the head football coach at the University of Redlands, and you're watching the Inland Sports Show.
What's going on, guys? Coach Bass here. We're here at the new Boost Performance Center here at 500 Harrington Street in Corona, California. We got a bigger space, more room for strength training, speed training, everything our athletes need. We got our student athletes here getting their studying done. So some of the different things we're going to be offering here at the new Boost Performance Center is really focusing on recovery, whether that be physical therapy or active recovery with yoga. We're also going to be offering nutrition classes for the general public. So really taking a more well-rounded approach to fitness for athletes, of course. Come check us out at our new facility. We're going to be opening soon. Can't wait to have you guys here.
Hey, Billy here from Spoiled in Riverside. Just opened up our new location off the 91 in Arlington and Riverside. Come check us out and get spoiled for a change.
The Inland Sports Show is brought to you by Spoiled. Quick, quality oil change. Spoil yourself and your car at Spoiled. Kin Sporting Goods. They have all of your sporting gear needs, Letterman's jackets, and team uniforms. Boost Performance Training with Coach Ray Bass. Athletes of all levels and all sports are going to Boost Performance Training in Corona. Mike's Fitness Equipment. Check out the new storeroom on La Cadena. Quality fitness equipment at affordable prices. Mike's Fitness Equipment. And JoJo's Grill-A-Dog, located in the Mountain Grove Shopping Center in Redlands. Let's be frank, not all dogs are created equal. JoJo's Grill-A-Dog. Welcome back to the Mike's Fitness Equipment Studio. It's the Inland Sports Show.
And welcome back to the Mike's Fitness Equipment Studio for the Inland Sports Show, live and amplified at Teen Vision TV 16. My name is Pep Fernandez, talking a lot of high school football tonight, and we've got a good one coming up this Friday. Santiago taking on Chaparral and the Pumas. Red hot, undefeated, one of the top teams in our area, and we're excited to have this guy back. He made his season debut in that big win against Yucaipa, one of the top QBs in the area. It's Mr. Brock White. Brock, how are you doing today? We appreciate you joining us on the show. How are you?
Pleasure's all mine. I appreciate you having me. I'm doing good, though. I'm doing good.
Hey, Brock, is it chilly down there in Temecula? I see the beanie, man. It's getting cold down there?
Yeah, it's a little bit chilly at night, but, I mean, it gets pretty warm. It's on and off, so you never really know.
Well, Brock, let's go back to that big win against Yucaipa this past week. You had 279 rushing yards, 160 through the air. It was 52-19 against what's always usually a very tough T-Birds team, but you guys made it look easy in that game. How anxious were you to make your season debut for Chaparral? And, man, were you surprised about how good you guys looked offensively against the T-Birds?
I was very excited. Very, very excited. I was ready to get back on that field. Was I surprised? Nah. I mean, we've been doing it. You know, I knew it was going to be like that, you know, because we have a great line, some great receivers, some great coaches, and we've been doing it. There's nothing we haven't done in practice that we just did. So not surprised.
Now, Brock, obviously, you led Rancho Verde to a section championship a couple years ago, so you know what it's like to win a title. When you look around your Pumas locker room and you know what guys you've got, you know the coaches you have, do you feel like, man, this is a team that can make a run in terms of another maybe CIF championship in your division?
Absolutely. I see the same type of stuff that I saw at Rancho. You know, people are holding each other accountable. Good team camaraderie, you know, everywhere I go, it's just funny. You know, people are doing funny stuff. So everybody's locked in when it comes to time to be locked in. We're focused. We're all in it for the same reason. You know, everybody's working hard. It's just good. Everything looks great. Coaches are doing a great job, and I just love the atmosphere here.
Well, Brock, Chaparral's always got great offensive linemen. How important was the O-line and the success you had against Yucaipa in that big win?
I mean, I give all the credit to them. You know, I just run through holes. That's all I do is run through holes. I mean, I made a few people miss, but they were mopping people up left and right. So I give them all the credit. They had probably about 20 pancakes at least. So who knows? But I give them all the credit.
They love those pancakes, that's for sure, those O-line guys. Hey, Brock, before we let you go, you've got Santiago coming up this week. You guys are trying to move to 4-0 on the season. What are the keys to victory against the Sharks this coming Friday?
Really, I see us like we can only beat ourselves. You know, that's it. We just got to be, have our bodies be sharp, our minds be sharp. There's really nothing they can do about it. That's just the way I see it. We just got to execute on offense, play good D. It's going to be our toughest game for sure, but I see us coming out with the victory.
Well, Brock, we appreciate the time, man. It's good to see you back on the field here in the Inland Empire. Tell Coach Raymer we said what's up, and best of luck Friday night against the Sharks.
I appreciate it.
All right, thanks, Brock. That's Brock White, quarterback at Chaparral, one of the good dudes around here, so we appreciate the time for Brock down there. I think they had practice tonight. I know there's a lot of Wednesday night high school football practices around the Inland Empire. It's a very popular night to have a practice under the lights, so we always appreciate them making the time. And Brock bundling up down there in Temecula with the beanie on. So, but yeah, he had a monster game. 279 yards on the ground, 160 through the air. What a fantastic football player, and he's going to really take a Chaparral team that was already very good and maybe take them to the next level. They might be thinking CIF Southern Section Championship this season in their playoff division. They got the Sharks on Friday night from Santiago. Meanwhile, Yucaipa, who's coming off that tough loss to Brock White and the Pumas, Yucaipa's got San Gorgonio next on Friday. That's not going to be easy either. And San Gorgonio, if you've heard the term the cardiac kids, they have been waiting till the very, very end of games to win those games. They wait till the last moment. Very dramatic, very emotional. So we saw them beat Summit 2 weeks ago. They beat Summit with no time on the clock, winning touchdown by Seth Burbine. Then we saw this past week against Carter High School almost the same exact thing. So let's go to our spoiled slick play of the week. I can't believe it basically happened all over again. So Carter scored a touchdown to take the lead in the final seconds. So Carter thought they had the win. But on the ensuing kickoff, DeMagier Mitchell goes about 95 yards back the other way. Look at the Sanji sideline. How did they do this 2 weeks in a row? Mitchell runs it in for the game-winning touchdown. Game over, folks. That was it. 40-36. Mitchell helping San Gorgonio beat Carter by 4. So two back-to-back weeks, 2 dramatic wins for San Gorgonio. What will they do against Yucaipa this week? That is the big question, I guess. So that is our spoiled slick play of the week. You couldn't even make this stuff up. That's why we love high school football. 2 walk-off wins like that for San Gorgonio. I know if you're Carter, you're like, man, I hate seeing that video, but man, San Gorgonio doing it back-to-back weeks like that. Just unbelievable. All right, now let's go to our Boost Performance Training broadcast schedule this week. A lot of football to check out, high school and college. Of course, everything starts with the Inland Sports Show Wednesday night, 6 o'clock. We're your leadoff man. We set the table for the rest of the week. Friday night, high school foosball. Arroyo Valley and Citrus Hill right here on Teen Vision TV 16. 2 undefeated teams, 2 Hawks, 2 teams ranked in the CIF Southern Section polls this week. And then also, and again, there's a slight time change on Aquinas versus Notre Dame. They moved it to 7:30. Not sure exactly why, but it's 7:30 on Friday night. Aquinas versus Notre Dame. That game will be on Riverside TV. So Riverside TV, so that's the City of Riverside Facebook, City of Riverside YouTube, and of course their local TV cable channels as well. And radio game Friday, 7 o'clock, Beaumont on the road at Lakeside. Beaumont is the #1 ranked team. I don't have it in front of me, but I think it's Division 11, so we've got a lot of ranked teams locally. And then Friday, 11 o'clock, Sports Weekly Live on IEMG. So if you're like, where's that? Just go to YouTube, search IE Media Group. Friday, 11 o'clock, high school football scores, high school football highlights, high school football interviews, the only high school football show in the Inland Empire. And then Saturday, some college foosball. We got San Bernardino Valley College and Riverside City in the bell game. Rivalry game alert right there. And then 7 o'clock on your radio dial on 1490 AM. Mitch McClellan and Vinny Fazio will have the call as the University of Redlands will host Linfield College Saturday, 7 o'clock, 1490 AM. All right, back here live in the studio. Now, we mentioned SBVC and RCC. That is the bell game. This is a rivalry that's been around for almost a century, going back to 1926. Now, SBVC has not won this game since 1996, but based on what we saw the last couple of weeks, they hung 80 on Santa Ana. They hung 51 on Santa Barbara City. Now, listen, I know RCC is the #1 team in the state, but SBVC is scoring a lot of points. It could be interesting. Here is Wolverines head coach Daniel Algadas talking about the big win against Santa Barbara this past week, 51-7, but also looking ahead to the big bell game against RCC. Here's Coach Algadas.
Inland Sports. Yeah, I mean, we gotta take a peek at it. They're always good. We seem to be able to find a way to win. So we'll go over to Wheel Lock, and they're usually pretty good there. So we'll see what happens. Not this time. I think we have some execution things that we need to clean up. So obviously the score on the board is fantastic, but I think as a team we didn't meet our potential tonight. I mean, obviously our defense played really well, but some messiness in there that we could have corrected.
All right, so that was Coach Algadas. Again, SBVC versus RCC. That game will be live on Riverside TV, 6 o'clock kickoff, as the 2-0 Wolverines will take on the 2-0 RCC Tigers. RCC, #1 in the entire state, coming off a big win against Fullerton. What's interesting about RCC is if they want to score a lot of points, they can do that. If they want to play a defensive-minded game, field position, low scoring, they can do that too. So it'll be interesting to kind of see how this game pans out, because SBVC wants to play fast, they want to get a lot of plays in, and they want to score a lot of points. So we'll see how this pans out. RCC and SBVC, worst case scenario, it's fun. It's an Inland Empire rivalry, and if you go back to last year, SBVC, their only 2 losses of the season were to RCC, and then in the American Conference Championship game. So Tigers and Wolverines renewing the rivalry in the Bell game this Saturday night. All right, when we come back here on the Inland Sports Show, we're going to go inside the Lancers, presented by Magnolia Heating and Cooling. CBU women's soccer, very tough at home on their home pitch, picking up some wins. We're going to check in with the Lancers when we come back on the Inland Sports Show.
This is Centennial High School football coach Matt Logan. You're watching the Inland Sports Show.
The Inland Sports Show is brought to you by Spoiled. Quick, quality oil change. Spoil yourself and your car at Spoiled. Kin Sporting Goods. They have all of your sporting gear needs, Letterman's jackets, and team uniforms. Boost Performance Training with Coach Ray Bass. Athletes of all levels and all sports are going to Boost Performance Training in Corona. Mike's Fitness Equipment. Check out the new storeroom on La Cadena. Quality fitness equipment at affordable prices. Mike's Fitness Equipment. And JoJo's Grill-A-Dog, located in the Mountain Grove Shopping Center in Redlands. Let's be frank, not all dogs are created equal. JoJo's Grill-A-Dog.
I would say the one thing that we stress more than anything else is service to our customer. Make sure that they're taken care of, whatever you can do to make sure that that order gets to them on time, and it's the right quality and what they want. I've been that way since 1976. That was my goal, to reach out to local sports programs, and it's grown from there, and we've been very, very fortunate. My grandson is right over here. He's working for us, and he's going to college right now, and that's exactly what my son did 20-some years ago, and it keeps on going, you know. Customers that come in the store that it's amazing. People that I haven't been here since I was a little kid, and I used to come in here all the time, and then now I'm bringing my son in here, or a grandpa that's bringing his grandson in here that came in here when we first opened back in '76. We just feel so fortunate to have been a part of this community and this Inland Empire for going into our 44th year now, and it's just been a blessing.
Here at the booth, Boost Alternative School for Student Athletes, we provide a collegiate experience for our students. They study here, they train here, balancing that student-athlete life. And it's a great experience. I recommend for anyone who's serious about their student and athlete life. So because we're a small private school, we're really able to bring a lot of technology to our students. So we're able to provide a lot of what you wouldn't find at your typical public school. We really feel like we're on the cutting edge of education and on sports development as well. So whether it be recovery or just their strength and speed development, you can find it here at the new Boost Performance Center. We're providing everything our athletes need to be the best student athletes they can be. Just opened up our new location off the 91 in Arlington and Riverside. Come check us out and get spoiled for a change.
Welcome back to the Mike's Fitness Equipment Studio. It's the Inland Sports Show.
And welcome back to the Mike's Fitness Equipment Studio at Teen Vision TV 16 at Valverde High School. This is the Inland Sports Show. My name is Pep Fernandez. We're wrapping things up, and we're going to wrap things up with some CBU women's soccer. California Baptist women's soccer defending their home pitch. Couple big wins this past week against the University of Incarnate Word. Then they beat Idaho. They've got a couple more coming up, including Cal Poly this Sunday. But CBU right now 5-2-1 on the season. They are playing some great football right now before they get to WAC play. They're going to open up Western Athletic Conference play on the road. That's going to be October 4th at Cal State Bakersfield, my old stomping grounds, as they take on the Road Runners in a couple weeks. But really, for the rest of the month of September, just a couple more matches, all at home. So they have a chance to really gain some steam, build up some momentum before they get to WAC play. So let's go inside the Lancers, presented by Magnolia Heating and Cooling. Check in with the head coach, Coach St. Clair, as also one of their star players, Miranda Hall, who had the game-winning goal against the University of Incarnate Word. So let's go inside the Lancers, presented by Magnolia Heating and Cooling.
California Baptist University women's soccer team opening up a big homestand. In fact, they're going to be home quite a bit in the month of September, at least till the end of September, before they get to WAC play. So they open up the big homestand against Incarnate Word from Texas, and it was low scoring at halftime, although the Lancers did have some opportunities on frame, but it was a scoreless sheet at the break. Second half, in fact, about midway through the second half, CBU finally breaks through. Carly Weeks out of Redlands East Valley to Miranda Hall, and she puts it in the back of the net. The big-time goal from Miranda Hall, and that one would stand up, the lone goal of the match, as the homestand opens with a big 1-0 victory for CBU. They will continue to defend their home pitch throughout the month of September, leading up to their WAC opener on October 4th on the road at Cal State Bakersfield.
After the first half, I know for me, I missed a couple easy opportunities, so I was getting a little frustrated, but then coming in second half, I was able to actually take a breath and realize that I had these opportunities, and when the opportunity came in second half, I knew that I just needed to have composure and self-belief in myself to just honestly barely even attack the ball, just a slight touch, just because we knew it was a bouncy game, there was wind, there was a lot of adversity, but it just took composure.
When the team and yourself have a lot of shots on goal, do you just feel at some point one of them's got to go in?
Yes, at one point one has to go in for sure, but we just have to continue to shoot and not lose belief that, like, okay, we're missing, we should just not shoot. Like, no, we're going to continue to shoot until one goes in.
So this was the beginning of a big homestand for you guys all the way through the month of September before you get to conference play. Was it good to get a win to kind of start off the homestand, maybe build some confidence before you get to WAC play?
Absolutely. It felt so nice to win at home. Like, it's been a minute since we played at home. Like, we just came back from a long trip up north. So coming back to our home field, we were able to, like, kind of relax, but also, like, have that, like, mindset that, like, this is home and we don't lose on our home field.
At some point, this team's too good not to at least tuck at least one in before the end of the match.
We're a young team, and we've created some great opportunities. We know it's coming. We know we got a little unlucky today, but the players, to their credit, just rolled up their sleeves, went back to work, kept chipping away. We've got some very talented attacking players, and we knew that it was coming.
So this is a big homestand for you guys through the month of September, leading up to WAC play, I guess, in October. What are you hoping to see out of this team in the next 3 or 4 matches that you have here at home before you open up? I think it's against Bakersfield to open up conference.
Yeah. Just to continue, today was a good game for maturity as well, for us to be able to close out games. I think maturity, us continuing to get a little sharper on both sides of the ball. But we just want to continue to improve our consistency on a day-to-day basis, and the players have certainly been doing that.
That was a fantastic goal by Miranda. We love the goal scorers, but how about your defense and your goalkeeper today? Can you talk about what they were able to do against Incarnate Word team that had some opportunities here?
Well, we have in goal Abby. She's a freshman goalkeeper, so her composure was very good. She didn't play like a freshman. She handled her box very well. Our back four has been very solid. We've got a great group of defenders that work really hard, and I think that it was nice to see them rewarded for the work that they've done.
Big thanks to Coach St. Clair and Miranda Hall for making time for Inside the Lancers, presented by Magnolia Heating and Cooling. Again, CBU women's soccer back home this Sunday against Cal Poly San Luis Obispo. 1 o'clock kickoff out there at California Baptist University if you want to check them out. A couple more home matches in the month of September before they get to WAC play. And before we go, quick reminder, Geoff wanted me to let everybody know, again, we mentioned it last week, and again, the CBU basketball junior Lancers camps coming up September 14th, the 21st, the 28th, and October 5th. So if you're a junior Lancer in the making, you're a local basketball player, maybe a youth level, and you want to check that out, go to cbulancers.com for more information. They would love to hear from you. They do a great job out there at CBU for the young basketball players in our area. And Coach Croy, Coach Olson, two of our favorite guys out there as well. So great basketball program on the men's and women's sides out there at CBU. All right, well, that's going to wrap things up here at the Mike's Fitness Equipment Studio at Teen Vision TV 16. My name is Pep Fernandez. Jeff Gorham is not here tonight. He's got the night off. He's doing some charity basketball tonight on Riverside TV. But we will be back next Wednesday, 6 o'clock. We'll talk more high school football as we go into Week 5, which Week 5 is, if you look at the schedule, kind of like a diet version of a normal high school football week. A lot of teams will be taking byes. So at that point, we'll be able to kind of recollect ourselves before everyone goes into league play. So we'll get to kind of size up where we are in the high school football season before we start making that chase for league championships. My name is Pep Fernandez. We'll see you next Wednesday night, 6 o'clock, for your favorite show, the Inland Sports Show.